Hey y'all, hey, Neen feels her feels. How y'all doing today? I'm good. Went to the doctor for nothing. Yeah. They don't help. So, um, the talks around is still about what happened with Lil Nor and all them folks and things and DJ academics and things. So, it's a thing now because we weren't paying attention to the children. We just focus on getting them up and getting them out. We're not really taking heed to what our children are consuming on a daily basis. Um, I, I mean, I'm with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning a lot too, and I had the thought. I'm like, damn, did my mama notice that did she notice, or anybody from that era of whatever generation that is. I mean, daddy's, he'll be 70 years old, so anyways, round up and about in there, you know what I'm saying? Did they see what was there any reports of children missing, um the industry, and how bad it is, and how a lot of the, entertainers ended up passing away and or, um, getting addicted to drugs and this, that, and the other, whatever, getting even more addicted to drugs because it's easily accessible. However, I'm talking about the children, okay, because I'm thinking about my own childhood. And I was molested when I was 8 years old. To further piggyback, my cousin molested me as well after that when I moved in with my grandmother. And I don't be around nobody. And I rarely have anybody around my children. It would just be family, for the most part, because I was aware of what I didn't want my kids to go through as I did. And none of my kids, neither my niece nor, well, no, my nephew had to go to daycare. And my niece had to go to daycare too. So let's just say whenever I kept my niece, me, her, and my daughter would have a conversation. And they really were not out and about until they were really vocal to be able to explain to me. And I always made it where they could talk to me, but I am hard to talk to. I'm hard to listen. That's what I've been told, and I'm trying to work on that. But sometimes when things are stupid, I can't be listening to no stupid shit. But however, um, our babies are being attacked in all type of ways. It's our environment that we live in. It's what they consume as far as this internet and game systems and everything like that. Um, I just think that the adults that's involved should have more going on up there. Common sense, morals, integrity. Even though most of us really, if you're walking the righteous path, you were saved. You know what I'm saying? God forgave you. However, life's still not easy for you going on because you did what you did, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Lie to somebody, whatever. You get your shit tenfold. Ain't that what they say? So, um, I'm watching the Naziah Harris case, and I had no clue. And I'm just north of Detroit, about 30 minutes. And you just don't think about the kids that come up missing, and the kids that are molested and taken advantage of, the kids that are just left for the world to just violate, right? We don't think about it. We just think about the ones that grow up, they go through, and they graduate, and then, yeah, those are the ones that we were able to get that far. Not then it's their turn. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, I really don't think a lot of ways we don't think about um, how our decisions affect them, how our decisions and where we end or go or this way or that way, how it affects them, right? So it's just we have to unlearn. And that was something that I was talking about too, and I wanted to write a book, which I still could possibly do. Um Unlearning, right? Unlearning behaviors that we saw, that we witnessed, that we endured. We have to unlearn those things, because as we move on and our society changes, it changes. Look, now you can get in trouble if your kid don't go to school. You wasn't getting into much trouble when I was in my years of school, and plenty of people, you know um as far as this Noir case and DJ academics and everything like that. I'm gonna be truthful with you though, because there's a lot going on in this world right now, right? And for some odd reason, I really believe a Palestinian refugee, a Palestinian refugee, this random all situation, right? I just think it's time, for all the shit and shenanigans to calm down or die off, or whatever. Everybody be held accountable for what they've done. We all have our cross to bear, and if you done harm to a child in any form of way, you deserve your punishment, whatever that shall be, right? So, anyways, that's that. So, Joe Budden had this conversation about the whole Noir and DJ Academics situation, and he was talking about it, keeping his barriers where they needed to be. I guess maybe I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we were all, they were all, we were all the other all the content creators were waiting for his response, because he knows DJ Academics, right? So Queen's Flip went into having his commentary towards um the banter, of how those grown men in that server was talking to Noir. The way they was talking was like, the way the way they were trying to describe it was that, you do this with your little brother, you just kind of, jones him, you know what I'm saying, like you be jonesing them, you know what I'm saying, clowning them a little bit. Hey, are you messing with girls, are you this and that and that and this, and they make it into this joke. And then, but I also believe that if we want to talk about grooming, it's putting those thoughts in their head. We have enough on the YouTube and other things. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and nobody's checking it or keeping it in check at all, and holding these folks accountable for these things that they're doing. This ain't OnlyFans. Kick that over there. Don't nobody come here for that. I come here to listen to real people, have a real dialect, have a real just conspiracy theory or not, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, but we all are a part of this world. And we all have a voice, and if we have something to say, and if it could save anybody from anything that you done experience, you sharing it, and you sharing the good gospel of how good God has been to you, to encourage the next person to keep going and have faith, and everything is going to work out. It's just not easy, right? So let's get into this video a little bit. It'll be just the audio, and I got this from, I like this guy, my humble opinion. He got a cool channel. I watch him almost every day. I get at least one video in, if not two, if I can help it, if it comes up in the thing, you know what I'm saying? So I want to take a look at what his commentary is, what Queen's Flip had to say, and then I'll come back and I'll give some tidbits as we go along. All right?
I feel like that was Joe's first signal to Queens, like, hey, you might want to think about what you're going to say, but he missed that.
That's the downside.
So he was trying to kind of give Queen's Flip, like,
so I'm going to be mindful.
I don't think you want to go where you trying to go, right?
We stand culture fan. Mm-hmm. The downside is they standing for whatever your action is. So if it's bad and they put enough noise on it, the people that you in bed with that wouldn't have seen it, they see it. Mm-hmm. Now, go ahead, what are you saying, Flip?
No, like, so the bigger message is that, you know, how, because they use the certain words like grooming and stuff like that. They're just using these words that is foreign to us. And I hate to say where we come from or how we grew up. And
okay, here's the first mistake he makes. He says they using these words. So first he's trying to intimate that people are using these words on purpose to make the situation bigger than what it is and seem worse than what it really is, which is not the case. Then the second thing he says is these words are foreign to us. Like, who's us? Black people? No. Black people know grooming. White people? No. Caribbeans? No. Like, every adult has probably heard the word grooming at some point.
Okay, so the word grooming, I mean, it literally is, you know, it's opening the door for them about things. It's like we can't have a conversation about, you know, the birds and the bees and things of that nature, like at a certain time, like we had it. Like, no, it's like you gotta talk to them as soon as they like 5, 4, 5. You gotta let them know so early about the evils and the things in this world, or the things, like, you just have to let them know a whole lot sooner because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So the whole point is us unlearning certain behaviors
in their life. Now, whether or not they understand fully all the intricacies and all the ways that it can happen and all of that, somebody can take a class for all of that. But I'm pretty sure if you walk in the face of this earth and you're an adult, at some point in time, you heard the word grooming. And then the third thing is this. Do you even have to know what grooming is to know that it's wrong to have a conversation like that with a kid? Do you have to know all the intricacies of it? Do you have to know the ways in which you don't, man? You really don't. So this road that Queen's Flip is about to go down, it's the wrong road, brother. The wrong hill to fucking die on, man. But he can't help himself because this is what he really thinks. So that's why I wanted to highlight this, because this ain't him just doing a scenario or what if or anything. This is what he's really thinking. He thinks that there's an issue with people using the word because they're blowing it up and making it bigger than what it really is, and that this word is foreign to us. And I'm assuming he's meaning, like, because he's going to go on and say Caribbeans and black. No. You don't even have to know. Forget the word grooming.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult male, you don't have to know any of that to know that it's wrong to have this type of conversation with a child, especially a child that's not yours.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Not making an excuse, but you are a product of your environment, meaning that when it comes to teenage boys or whatever, we encourage them to, yo, get that girl or do that. We had those conversations. It's been like that since I was, the older niggas around me did it with me. I did it with my son.
Case in point, there you go. There you go. You did it to your son. You know what I'm saying? There's ways of trying to communicate. There's different ways of communicating. And you don't have to do it how it was done to you, right? That means learning. You know, we get so old, we get older and we get so set in our ways. No, 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 baby, no. And I can say it still take me a time to crack a book open. You know what I'm saying? If I could get it in a video in about an hour worth of time, I'll watch that. I'll watch that video. Yes, I will. You know, but it's good for us to um educate ourselves even further, because again the world is changing, right? Ever changing, always changing, and we have to adjust and change with it. So yes, no, it's not right to sit there and put those thoughts in a young man's head. There's ways of learning how to communicate with your children, and the way we grew up was not it. Was not it. All the parties, the get-togethers, the all that, letting everybody around the house, let everybody around your children. Baby, please, no. Just because that's how you grew up, that does not mean that's what you're supposed to put your children through. They shouldn't be around that shit. You know, I remember times of waking up in my mama's friend's house where she left me overnight and wouldn't come back for hours. Till one time she left me with my grandma for 3 years. What the what? And during those 3 years, I was molested by my cousin. The first one was her friend's son. You know? So that part. The devil comes in early. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for your protection.
No, I mean, not saying that it's right. It is wrong. Now,
if you acknowledge it as wrong,
and I'm sorry, I do cuss. I'm trying to work on
another,
it. Okay,
another sign
but
that Joe
I'm
is holding
faithfully
up, like,
in the church.
Just
I am, but I got a lot of things to work on. That's my filthy mouth.
So he's acknowledging.
So I apologize.
He's trying again. This is what they're doing. They're trying to make it seem like having a sexual conversation with one of your children or something is the same as having a conversation that they had.
It's not the same.
A kid.
And they was talking about homosexual stuff to Noir. Come on now. They said something about some stripper women, and then other than that, it turned into some really nasty, raunchy stuff to this young man.
You know what even makes it even worse at this point now, since I watched Deleted's video, when you listen to what Playboy Max said about Drake.
Deleted's video. My God, bro. My God.
Now that takes the conversation.
My God, let me go ahead and put my 2 cents in. Sorry, didn't mean to cut it off like D, but got to anyway. Okay, this Playboy Max, Aiden Ross, all these dudes, right? They work for these companies, right? And the companies encourage this. All these dudes are over the age of 18 and they have children in their chats. Tell me, how is this okay? And they not playing no goddamn games. They are literally on Discord, on Kick, on Twitch, in these grown-ass men's chats. Now, the parents should be a little bit more involved in what's going on in them gaming systems and headsets. Because it's the predators are coming in. You may keep them outside your house. They may not be at the school, but they somewhere. They're lurking like leeches. They're waiting. And a lot of us be women getting with these slumback ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? You know? Back to the Isaiah Harris case. Woo! If you guys can go support the content creators that's really bringing that case to the forefront, it's a very heartbreaking case. It really, truly is. And the system failed that young lady. And so did all the adults around her. So prayers that God has his hands around Isaiah and any other young woman young lady, young girl that's going through something right now.
Of Max being inside of this kid, right?
Oh, back to the companies. They encourage you, right? So why is there videos of Black Boy Max saying how uncomfortable he is? Baby, fame ain't that. Come go get you a regular job if that's the case. If this shit is too much for you, or you doing YouTube content is something that's way beyond you and you can't bring yourself down to do that, to go any higher in this game and dealing with these companies and all these people that's looking for a way to get whatever they need to get to keep their status, they're going to do whatever they can do. And if they can use some young black men, use young men, period, to do it, and some old, nasty, greasy old men, if they can use them to do it, they will. They will. They will. So, oh my goodness gracious, the companies. It's the companies. You cut the head off the snake, baby. You cut the head off the snake. So I think everybody should get off them things. Actually communicate with your children. Actually really care about their practices and not sit there on your phone.
Makes you look at it a whole different way, man. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but there's really no other way that I can think of saying it. But knowing what he said, and I'm not trying to put anything on anybody as far as like who they are, what they are. And if you like guys, I don't give a fuck. But knowing what he said about Drake, knowing that he has those type of thoughts, and he wakes up and anyway, that puts it in a different light now. It makes me wonder, okay, was there another reason why they were saying this? Why they were trying to talk about Black being inside him and him performing, or was there another reason? Because now it's like, okay, you shouldn't have been having a conversation, but knowing what this dude was talking about when he's seen another man's jaw, now it just makes you feel like there was even more, maybe darker, intense.
That was wild to me. That was wild to me. Black Boy Max sitting on stream talking about seeing Drake's private parts and things of that nature, and he was mesmerized. Now, if you were just doing that for the sake of whatever your reason is for all of this weird shit that you be doing, bro, but that was intense. That was intense for me. I was like, oh boy, wow, okay. I don't think I ever been that excited about something like that. Like, come on now, not like that. But he was mesmerized, man. And I wouldn't even say look for the video of it, but it's out there. You know what I'm saying? This is just terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. But I'm glad that it's brought to the light now, because I can look at my son in a different way, even though, yes, my main purpose in this life is to protect him, right? And protect him. But now it's like I really have to so I'm taking notes for myself as well, holding my own self accountable and doing something and trying my best to do something about it moving forward, right? So we got to learn, man. We don't have a choice but to learn. If we don't learn, we fail. We fail. Aren't y'all tired of failing?
Can't help but think that there's more to the story, man. But we'll see.
I understand it's wrong, but I'm saying that it's not foreign. That behavior. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not new. You know what I mean? Like, if of course,
right.
So that's what I'm saying. I think it's wrong.
So we're in a place today where that behavior is being checked and people are being educated on things.
And I agree.
But
you have to learn it. There are consequences. Yeah, and you have to learn in real time. See, everybody act like they smart and they overnight they learn how to abide by society rules and shit like that and what's right and wrong. You have to learn in real time when you're taught something, especially niggas from the Caribbean.
Okay, hold the fuck up. Have we not been in? What have you been doing all these years of your life? Queen. Flip. Queen's flip. Queen flips. Whatever. Queen. Where have you been? Where have you been? What do you watch? What do you consume? For you to sit there and say this is foreign to us and this is foreign. I've learned so many words out of watching YouTube. I'm like, oh Lord, let me put that in the repertoire when I speak now, because that sounded educated. Let me look up the definition of that. Oh, that's what that means. Just like grooming. So I think we all should just do some Googling. Do some Googling. Get yourself educated. Like, no cap. Seriously. For real.
Like, all right, this whole statement is just, come on, Queens. Come on, man. I'm going to play that one more time for y'all.
But you have to learn it. There are consequences.
For the people in the back, baby.
See, everybody act like they smart and they fucking overnight they learn how to.
He said everybody act like they smart, right? Because they know that it's wrong to talk to a kid that way. Just think about where this statement is coming from. Oh, you niggas think you smart. You think you know what it is. Because why? Because he's coming off the premise that this is the way we grew up. This is what the older dudes did to us. This is what we do to the younger guys. We had these conversations. And
It's
in
real
certain
life.
ways,
Okay. This is real life. I don't even know who that was. I don't even know.
But we have these inappropriate conversations that we shouldn't be having with younger people. Or we encourage them to get involved in these things that we ain't got no business encouraging them to be involved in. And now he's saying that these are pseudo smart niggas. because they act like they know it's wrong. No, nigga, we know it's wrong because it's wrong.
Abide by society rules and shit like that and what's right and wrong. You have to learn in real time when you're taught something, especially niggas from the Caribbean.
Like Danny said, especially niggas from the Caribbean. Because apparently you Caribbean niggas are dumb. You niggas don't know what it is to grow. You niggas don't got enough common sense to know that you shouldn't have that conversation with a child. Caribbean niggas are stupid, apparently.
Whoa.
And if you're Caribbean, you should be offended by that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, these things are, like, you have to acknowledge that nobody wants to go to the source of things. They just want to point and laugh and blame. And I'm not saying anything with AK. I'm not even co-signing that.
AK was wrong.
He's cool. He was 100% wrong.
Dead wrong.
100% wrong. Period. Point blank, especially if the young man is saying what he's saying. I've seen things like that. That's what I'm saying. I've seen
and it's cool to be wrong and then go sit with it by yourself.
Yeah, don't be wrong and strong.
Yeah, go sit with it.
Or if you want to be wrong and strong, you don't have to put a camera on.
You sure don't.
You don't have to live stream you in your learning process.
Got it, yeah.
You don't. You could take that. You could take that privately. His brand is not speaking to 15-year-old boys like that.
No. Correct. I'm talking about, you said you don't have to learn in real time with the camera on. I think that's part of his brand, though. Whatever I'm experiencing or whatever I'm talking about,
that's what I'm saying.
I have to cut the camera on. Like, again, this is a different generation. They don't know how to turn the cameras on.
No, you don't have to turn the camera on. You don't have to turn the camera on. You know what you did. You know what you did. I seen AK sit there and literally, like, the folks is in his chat, like, 15 years old, 50 years old, 50 years old, and he's just like, I don't know. And it took about 100 and some 15 years olds for him to be like, oh, okay, you know, and then he gave some whack ass reason for, you know, getting involved, being in that situation, in that chat with that young man, and the other grown folks that was in there. I don't know what, Tory Lane's past, manager and some dude named AJ and things of that nature or whatever, and they can sit up there and say that this thing is being drawn out. It's not a big deal. This, that, and the other. Yeah, it is a big deal because it has to stop. But it's thousands of predators out here in this world across from the root to the tutor. So that's a lot of ground to cover, right? But I guess we take one situation at a time, you know. But yeah, anyways, yeah, we have to unlearn some things. We, as a society, need to unlearn some things. Seriously, we all need to get some help. We all need to heal, because that's what's wrong. You got a world full of damaged people walking around out here. And some of them has gotten help for it, but some of them ain't. They just settled in a dysfunction and they want to keep it that way because it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it gets the job done, go ahead and keep going. But God has a way of getting you on the path one way or another. So,
Learn it.
And you learn
Unlearn it.
Unlearn it.
Listen,
Hello.
I'm not
Unlearn
here
it.
to preach.
Amen.
I'm not trying to
Unlearn
preach
it.
to nobody.
Unlearn it.
It's difficult to unlearn things.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So if that is
So in the end of this video, Joe is going to talk about the fact that, you know, if he was having a conversation with his little brother, it's not about cracking jokes and having conversations about what their life is like, what's going on in their life, seeing what the deal is, giving them knowledge that they need to grow with, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, and I just wanted to play that because Queen's Flip needs to unlearn that. And I think that's probably, I don't know how many children he has, but hopefully he don't. Hopefully, if he have any more, then he knows now moving forward. There's ways of learning better communicate, having better communication skills. You can learn that. You can go take a class. You can take a class. You can watch YouTube videos to learn how to communicate with folks, right? In a better and healthier way. So, and I wanted to say again, thank you so much to my humble opinion. I look forward every day to his opinion about the topics that's going around and everything like that. Again,